Every year, moving trucks stream out of Illinois, carrying families, retirees, and businesses away from a state once celebrated for its opportunity and innovation. Beneath the shadow of its towering skyline and rich history lies a growing crisis, one shaped by crushing taxes, financial mismanagement, and a migration wave so severe it's reshaping the Midwest forever. Illinois has always been an integral part of America's story. With Chicago as its economic and cultural crown jewel, the state was once a magnet for people seeking better lives, careers, and futures. Immigrants from around the world flocked to Illinois in the 19th and early 20th centuries, and during the Great Migration, African Americans escaping Jim Crow laws in the South made Chicago their home. It's a place that gave rise to the skyscraper, electrified the blues, and symbolized the American dream. But today, that dream feels distant for many Illinoisans. Year after year, more people are leaving Illinois than are moving in. Between 2010 and 2020, Illinois experienced a net population loss of 18,000 residents. This trend has accelerated since, with the state losing over 141,000 people between 2020 and 2022 alone. Illinois now ranks third in the nation for outbound migration, trailing only New Jersey and California. For every 42 people who move into the state, 100 leave. What's surprising is that these aren't just retirees or snowbirds heading for warmer climates. Families, young professionals, and even businesses are joining the exodus, driven by one major factor: taxes. To understand the root of Illinois' migration problem, we have to start with property taxes. Illinois has some of the highest property taxes in the country, ranking second only to New Jersey. For homeowners, this means a significant financial burden. Imagine owning a $200,000 home in Calumet City, a suburban town near Chicago. Your annual property tax bill would be a staggering $6,200. Now, compare that to neighboring Hammond, Indiana, where a home of the same value carries a property tax bill of just $2,300. The difference is enough to make families reconsider their roots. And they are. Residents are crossing state lines in droves, trading Illinois' high taxes for the financial relief found in nearby states like Indiana, Wisconsin, and Iowa. The frustration for Illinoisans doesn't stop with property taxes. Despite paying these sky-high rates, many residents feel they aren't getting good value in return. Public services, including schools, infrastructure, and public safety, are often underfunded. Roads remain in poor condition, school districts struggle with tight budgets, and crime levels in certain areas continue to rise. Residents are left asking a troubling question: where is all this money going? Despite the high taxes and budget constraints, Illinois remains home to significant untapped potential. Chicago, for instance, still boasts a diverse economy with strengths in finance, healthcare, and logistics. The state is also home to some of the nation's most prestigious universities, including the University of Chicago and Northwestern University, which continue to attract talent and foster innovation. Moreover, Illinois has rich agricultural resources and a prime geographic location, making it a critical hub for transportation and trade. However, these assets are at risk of being overshadowed by the state's fiscal challenges, unless bold investments and reforms are made to harness this potential and create opportunities that make residents want to stay rather than leave. The answer lies in one of Illinois' deepest financial wounds: its ballooning public pension debt. Illinois' pension crisis is one of the worst in the nation, and the numbers are staggering. The city of Chicago alone holds more public pension debt than 43 U.S. states combined. Decades of poor planning, underfunding, and overly generous benefits have created a fiscal nightmare. The state is now forced to dedicate a massive portion of its budget to pension obligations, leaving less money for other essential services. This in turn has driven taxes even higher, perpetuating a vicious cycle. Higher taxes lead to more residents leaving, which shrinks the tax base, making it even harder to address the growing debt. It's a financial death spiral that has proven difficult to stop. But property taxes are only one piece of the puzzle. Illinois also imposes one of the highest corporate income tax rates in the country, making it an increasingly hostile environment for businesses. Over the past few years, several major corporations have relocated their headquarters out of Illinois. Boeing, Tyson Foods and Citadel are just a few examples of companies that have moved to states with lower taxes and fewer regulations. This isn't just an issue for large corporations. Small businesses, which often operate with limited margins, are finding it harder to stay afloat in Illinois. For entrepreneurs, the state's high taxes and burdensome regulations create an environment that feels more like an uphill battle than an opportunity for growth. Then there's the issue of gas taxes. Illinois residents pay the second highest gas taxes in the United States, which makes commuting more expensive and drives up the cost of goods and services. Adding insult to injury, Illinois is one of the few states that taxes groceries. While a statewide repeal of the grocery tax is set to take effect in 2026, many local municipalities may introduce their own grocery taxes, ensuring that the financial burden on residents doesn't go away entirely. For low-income and middle-class families, these taxes add up quickly, making it harder to make ends meet. And yet, despite these financial burdens, the challenges don't stop there. Population loss isn't limited to suburban or rural areas. Chicago, the state's largest city and economic hub, is facing its own set of challenges. Once a beacon for business and innovation, Chicago is now grappling with record-high office vacancy rates. In 2023, the downtown office vacancy rate reached 25.1%, while suburban vacancies hit an unprecedented 31.4%. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated these trends as remote work made it easier for companies and employees to relocate to states with lower costs of living. The result? A shrinking tax base, further straining Chicago's ability to fund public services and maintain its infrastructure. And while Illinois' economic issues are well documented, its political struggles are equally significant. The state has a long history of political corruption, earning a reputation as one of the most corrupt states in the nation. 4 of Illinois' last 10 governors have served time in prison, and stories of embezzlement and mismanagement are all too common. Take, for example, the recent case of a school district official who embezzled $1 million in COVID-19 relief funds to buy chicken nuggets, none of which ever made it to the schools. These scandals not only erode public trust, but also divert attention and resources away from solving the state's deeper problems. Corruption aside, Illinois faces a daunting financial reality. The state's public pension debt alone totals over $139 billion. To put that into perspective, this debt is larger than the GDP of some small countries. Solving the pension crisis will require difficult decisions, including renegotiating benefits, increasing contributions from employees and employers, and possibly amending the state constitution to allow for reforms. However, these solutions are politically fraught and face significant resistance. So, where are Illinois residents going? Many are relocating to neighboring states like Indiana, Wisconsin, and Iowa, which offer lower taxes, more affordable housing, and fewer regulations. Others are heading to states like Texas, Florida, and Arizona, drawn by their warmer climates and lack of state income taxes. For retirees, Florida and Arizona represent an appealing opportunity to stretch their savings further. For young professionals and families, states like Texas offer job opportunities and a lower cost of living. The financial implications of this exodus are profound. According to IRS data, Illinois lost over $16 million in tax revenue between 2019 and 2020 alone due to outmigration. Over the past decade, the state has lost more than $8 billion in total wealth, ranking second only to New York in terms of wealth loss. As the tax base shrinks, it becomes increasingly difficult for Illinois to fund its obligations and invest in its future, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of decline. But is there hope for Illinois? Can the state reverse its fortunes and stop the outflow of residents and businesses? Many experts believe that bold, systemic reforms are the key. First and foremost, Illinois must address its pension crisis. This could involve a combination of renegotiating benefits, increasing contributions, and exploring innovative funding strategies. Second, the state needs to reform its tax structure. Reducing property taxes and creating a more business-friendly environment could help Illinois compete with its neighbors. Third, Illinois must invest in its future. Improvements to infrastructure, education, and healthcare could make the state more appealing to both families and businesses. Finally, Illinois must confront its culture of corruption. Implementing transparency measures and strengthening oversight could help restore public trust and create an environment where meaningful reform is possible. Despite its challenges, Illinois still has enormous potential. Its strategic location in the heart of the Midwest, its world-class universities, and its rich cultural heritage are assets that few states can match. But unlocking that potential will require leadership, vision, and a willingness to make tough choices. Without decisive action, Illinois risks falling further into decline, losing not only its residents, but also its promise as a cornerstone of the American Midwest. So, what do you think? Can Illinois turn things around, or is the mass migration here to stay? If you found this deep dive into Illinois' challenges insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you see as the biggest obstacle facing Illinois? And what would it take to fix it? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.